So, you've been told a lie about happiness. And it's a lie about Stoicism, too. The lie is that being a Stoic means you have to grit your teeth and just endure all the horrible things life throws at you. That to be a Stoic is to become some kind of emotionless statue, a human rock weathering the storm without feeling a single thing. You've heard about Marcus Aurelius writing in his tent, and you know about Epictetus and the dichotomy of control. You've probably seen Memento Mori and Amor Fati on a t-shirt. But what if that's only scratching the surface? What if the real, foundational secrets to what the Stoics called eudaimonia, a deep, unshakable state of flourishing, got buried and misunderstood over time? Overshadowed by the more famous, bite-sized quotes. The principles that built the inner peace of the Stoics weren't just about endurance. They were about connection, cosmic awe, and even a special kind of joy. These aren't the pop culture Stoic ideas you've seen all over social media. These are the lesser-known keys that unlock a state of lasting happiness far more profound than just being tough. And today, we're uncovering 5 of them. Let's start with a problem that feels incredibly modern: loneliness. We live in the most connected time in history, and yet, so many of us feel more isolated than ever. The Stoics had a powerful answer for this, a principle that's almost completely missing from modern discussions: oikiosis. The term roughly translates to appropriation, or making familiar. A Stoic philosopher from the 2nd century CE named Hierocles turned this idea into a brilliant practical exercise. He told us to imagine our relationships as a series of concentric circles. In the very center, that's you, your own mind. The next circle out is your immediate family. Then, your extended family. After that, your neighbors, your fellow citizens, and finally, in the biggest, outermost circle, all of humanity. The real work of a Stoic, Hierocles argued, was to actively draw the circles together, to make what feels foreign, familiar. To treat your cousins as you would your own siblings. To treat your neighbors as you would your cousins. The goal is to keep extending the care you naturally feel for your inner circle outwards, until you bring all of humanity into your sphere of concern. This isn't just some vague command to be nice, it's a deliberate training program for compassion. The Stoics knew that happiness doesn't come from rugged individualism and cutting yourself off. It comes from sympatheia, a sense of being interconnected with everyone. Oikiosis is how you build that connection. It's the recognition that your own well-being is tied to the well-being of others. It's a reminder that Stoicism isn't about detaching from people, but about deepening our connections in a rational, meaningful way. So here's a practice you can try. Once a week, visualize those circles. Pick one person from an outer circle, a distant relative, a co-worker, someone in your community, and consciously try to pull them one circle closer in your mind. Think about their life, their hopes, their humanity. Then, do one small, unprompted act of kindness for them. That's the work. That's how you fight loneliness and build a happiness that's rooted in real human connection. The biggest myth about Stoicism is that the goal is apatheia, or getting rid of all your emotions. This is just a bad translation. Apatheia doesn't mean apathy, it means being free from irrational, disturbing passions. The Stoics never wanted us to become unfeeling robots. In fact, they had a whole category of emotions that a wise person should feel, the eupatheiai. Eupatheiai literally means good emotions. These are rational, healthy feelings that come from making good judgments and living a virtuous life. They're the emotional reward for living well. While the Stoics warned us against destructive passions, pathe, Like rage, terror, and obsessive desire, they actively encouraged us to cultivate eupathia. So, what were these good emotions? They included chara, which is a rational kind of joy that comes from virtue, not just from fleeting pleasure. They also included eucharistia, a deep sense of gratitude, and boulesis, a calm and rational wish for good things for both yourself and for others. This isn't the kind of anxious, grasping desire that makes us miserable, but a peaceful, well-reasoned wanting. The point of Stoicism was never to erase emotion, but to trade the negative, irrational ones for positive, rational ones. A wise person doesn't feel less, they feel better. They have a sense of joy and calm that is stable and deep, because it doesn't depend on what happens to them. This changes the whole feel of the philosophy, doesn't it? It's not some grim path of endurance, but an optimistic one of flourishing. Happiness comes not from feeling numb, but from building a mind that naturally produces joy, goodwill, and gratitude. Here's your practice. At the end of each day, don't just make a list of what you're thankful for. Practice Eucharistia. Pick one thing you're grateful for and write down why it's a true good. How does it connect to your virtues or the virtues of someone else? Was it a friend's loyalty? A moment of quiet focus? A chance to be brave? Connect your gratitude to virtue, and you'll start to cultivate chara, a joy that no one can ever take from you. You've probably heard the Stoic phrase, live according to nature, but that phrase has been stripped of its original, breathtaking meaning. For the early Greek Stoics like Zeno and Chrysippus, this wasn't about going camping or eating organic. It was a cosmological command. The early Stoics believed the entire universe, the cosmos, was a single, living, perfectly rational entity. They called this universal reason the logos, and sometimes described it as a divine, creative force that runs through everything. Everything that happens, from a leaf falling to an empire rising, is part of this flawless, unfolding rational plan. Your own ability to reason, your personal logos, is a tiny spark of that divine fire. So, living according to nature really meant aligning your personal reason with the universal reason of the cosmos. It meant understanding that you aren't an isolated person, but a vital part of a vast, intelligent system. This perspective changes everything. Suddenly, a traffic jam, a difficult co-worker, or a sudden setback isn't just a random annoyance. It's the logos unfolding exactly as it must. Your job isn't to fight it, but to use your reason to act with virtue within that reality. This is a radical idea. It grounds your personal actions in the fabric of the universe itself. Your good deeds become more than just nice things, they become acts of harmonization with the cosmos. This brings a profound sense of purpose and peace. When you're aligned with the universe, what is there to be truly angry or anxious about? You are playing your part in a perfect, divine order. Your practice here is all about perspective. At some point in your day, when you're faced with something you can't control, just pause. Instead of only accepting it, try to see it from the perspective of the logos. Tell yourself, this is part of the rational unfolding of everything. My job isn't to resent it, but to respond with reason and virtue. Try to feel that you're a part of that grand cosmic order. This is the source of true Stoic awe and unshakable peace. If these often overlooked ideas are resonating with you, and you want to keep exploring ancient wisdom for modern life, take a second to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We go deep like this every single week. Now, let's go from the cosmos to something a little closer to home, your dinner plate. While Marcus Aurelius was an emperor and Seneca was a wealthy statesman, one of the most practical and influential Stoics was a man named Musonius Rufus. He's sometimes called the Roman Socrates, and was the teacher of the great Stoic Epictetus. His philosophy was less about abstract theory and all about putting ethics into action, in the most ordinary parts of life. Musonius argued that self-control, which is the foundation of all other virtues, is a muscle you have to train every single day. And what's the most consistent training ground? Your appetite. He taught that mastering what you eat and drink is the first step to mastering yourself. For Musonius, choosing simple, healthy food over rich, fancy delicacies wasn't about depriving yourself. It was a daily workout for your willpower. By choosing food for nourishment instead of just for pleasure, you prove to yourself, multiple times a day, that your reason is in charge, not your impulses. It might sound a little extreme, but his point was profound. If you can't control your reaction to a piece of cake, how can you expect to control your reaction to an insult, a financial loss, or a tyrant? But Musonius didn't just stop with diet. He applied this practical virtue everywhere. He argued passionately that women should get the same philosophical education as men, a revolutionary idea for his time. He believed that happiness comes from being consistent, applying the virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control to every single action, from eating a meal to serving your community. His was a Stoicism for the real world, where every moment is a chance to practice philosophy. Here's a practice inspired by Musonius. For one day this week, consciously choose simplicity. Eat a simple, nourishing meal, focusing on its purpose, to strengthen your body. On top of that, do one small thing to contribute to your community, maybe help a neighbor, pick up some trash, or offer your time somewhere. By practicing both self-control and social virtue, you're walking the path of Musonius Rufus. Our final secret is maybe the most overlooked of all, yet it's the very engine of Stoic resilience. We talk a lot about Stoic mindsets, but we rarely talk about the system they used to build them, logic. The Stoics, especially Chrysippus, were pioneers of logic. They understood that most of our suffering doesn't come from events themselves, but from the false judgments we make about them. As Epictetus famously said, it's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things. The big question is, how do you get control of those judgments? Their answer was a rigorous, systematic mental process. They made a vital distinction between an impression, a thought that just pops into your head, like, my boss just frowned, and assent, when you agree the impression is true, like, my boss is angry with me and my job is in danger. That moment of assent is where all the misery is born. The Stoics developed a system of logic to act as a gatekeeper, to analyze impressions before giving them your agreement. This is the direct ancestor of modern cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. In a very real way, the Stoic school was the world's first therapy clinic. An untrained mind automatically agrees with every negative impression. A traffic jam is a disaster. An insult is a threat to your self-worth. But a Stoic trained mind hits pause. It takes that impression and holds it up to the light of logic. Is it really true that this traffic jam is a disaster, or is it just an inconvenience? Is what that person said about me objectively true? Does their opinion actually change my character? This logical analysis diffuses the emotional bomb before it can go off. It's like a mental firewall against the irrational thoughts that create anxiety, anger, and despair. So here's your final practice. The next time you feel a rush of a negative emotion, anger, frustration, anxiety, stop. Identify the automatic thought that caused it. Then, put that thought on trial. Ask yourself, is this impression true, false, or uncertain? What evidence do I have? Does agreeing with this thought actually help me? Treat your own mind like a logical system. By applying this Stoic logic, you can systematically dismantle the architecture of your own unhappiness. So there you have it. 5 lesser-known Stoic secrets that go way beyond just controlling what you can. The secret of oikoiosis, which teaches us that happiness is found in connection, not in isolation. The secret of eupathia, revealing that the goal isn't to feel nothing, but to cultivate rational joy and gratitude. The secret of cosmic harmony, which grounds our actions in the awe-inspiring order of the universe. The secret of Musonius Rufus's practical virtue, showing that self-mastery is built in the small, daily moments of life. And the secret of Stoic logic, the mental toolkit that lets us dismantle our suffering before it even takes root. True, lasting happiness, the flourishing life the Stoics were after, isn't about passively enduring your life. It's an active, daily practice of building a soul that is virtuous, connected, and rational. It's richer, deeper, and way more optimistic than the modern caricature lets on. What is one of these practices you're going to try this week? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.